simple thing.
Can you speak up, Mr. Wendolowski?
Sure. I'm sorry, Mr. Troy. Let me try to address the bakery situation as simply as I can. I know, let's assume it's $500,000 in back taxes that are sitting out there. Unless this property is sold or developed, all that's going to happen is we're going to continue to accrue more back taxes.
I understand.
So where this property is headed is to either tax sale first, at which time the only way someone buys it is by paying all the back taxes, which would be $500,000, and take it subject to any other liens that are on the property. That's never going to happen. So if it goes to tax sale, no one is going to buy it. Under the law, what happens next is the property goes to free and clear sale. And at free and clear sale, it goes to the highest bidder at that free and clear sale. And my experience has been, you're not going to get $50,000 for this property at free and clear sale. As a matter of fact, it was put out for public bid without having the free and clear sale and without being an auction. And those two bids came in, one at 50, one at 52. Anytime I see bids, and I do a lot of construction work for construction clients, anytime I see bids grouped that closely, it gives you a good idea as to what the true value is. One wasn't 150 and one wasn't 20. You had two right within $2,000 of each other. The city council made a decision to sell it to the one because of the development plan. I've been told, and Mr. Lefkowitz is coming in to give a presentation next month, that he is doing this financing on his own. This is not government financing. This is not a KOZ. He's borrowing the money from his own corporation, and he's going to pay it back. And my understanding is the budget for this project is about $1.5 million. I can't speak for the assessor's office as to what the assessment will be for this property. But let's say it's $1 million assessment. Every year from the date this building is built going forward, our district will collect taxes based upon that $1 million assessment. To me, this board did the exact right thing by agreeing to this. And just to correct one misconception that you had, Mr. Troy, the board doesn't have the right to veto this sale. All we were required to do is be kept informed. We had conditions that it had to be put out for public bid, that they had to be open at a public meeting, and that we would be paid our percentage after costs.
I was told by Mrs. Toole that the board had to approve it. That was one of the stipulations, Mr. Wendolowski.
I have the resolution right here that was passed, Mr. Troy. I'll give you a copy. The board did not.
There's no such stipulation.
The board did not retain veto power, nor did they ask to. So to answer your question, I think I have. I think that was the best thing this board could do. We're going to have a property which was generating no income, back on the tax rolls, generating income for the district.
What about the $440,000 then?
Where is that ever going to come from, Mr. Troy? How is that ever going to be collected? If a bidder won't come to the tax sale and pay the $440,000, where is it going to come from?
Well, it's going to come from the taxpayers if there's a hole in the budget as a result of that, correct?
But the money would never be collected. It's an illusory amount, Mr. Troy. It's taxes that are accruing on this property that will never be paid unless you get it back.
Well, that's your opinion, though.
You're correct, Mr. Troy. That is my opinion.
Are you a real estate expert, Mr. Wendolowski? You're a solicitor, aren't you?
Yeah, that's correct.
Can we have maybe an opinion on, did anybody in the board look into this, the possibilities here?
Okay. Mr. Troy, Mr. Wendolowski has answered your questions. The second was about a forensic audit. There is a motion that will be made at this meeting concerning that question. 3 solicitors. I don't know who the third solicitor is. We had
A special education solicitor was in the paper, Mrs. Toole.
Well, that is he is not our solicitor per se. That firm is hired if we have a special education case. So it's not.
He's getting paid by the district. It was in the paper.
Yes, but he is. The firm is not a solicitor. That is special counsel who will deal with special education problems.
Well,
Preliminary budget, cut expenses. We are working on. And I talked to you yesterday. I called you. You called me. I returned the call, and
I still don't understand that. I'm sorry. I don't understand the protocol.
Wait a minute. Then don't call me again if you don't understand. I explained it to you I don't know how many times. And I told you that we are
Your explanation is ambiguous. I'm sorry,
No,
Mrs.
it
Toole.
is
It's
not
ambiguous.
Let me give it to you again.
Is it open to the public or isn't it?
Mr. Troy, the Budget Finance Committee meeting is in advertised meeting, open to the public, as was the last one, and I was here.
She didn't say that to me yesterday.
Oh, wait a minute.
You said if there are 5 school board
No.
members present. That's what you said, Mrs.
Wait a
Toole.
minute.
You
Wait
said
a
if there's
minute.
fewer than 5 school board members, it is not open to the public.
That's right, I did tell you that because that was the further explanation that you, was a further question. I told you that it will be, and I also told you that I was not sure the exact date, but that I would give it to you tonight as to when that was being
So the
held.
final
And it's
answer is it
being-
is open to the public no matter how many board members attend. Is that correct? That's not consistent with what you told me, Mrs. Toole.
Will you let
I'm
me
sorry.
tell you, would you please let me tell you what I told you? And no interruptions?
I know what you told me yesterday.
But you're not telling the truth.
I'm not telling the truth. You're calling me a liar?
I told you that it is an open meeting because it was advertised as such. And when a meeting is advertised, it is open to the public. And that's exactly what I said to you. And if there are more than 5 members present at a committee meeting, it has to be advertised and open to the public. And that's what I told you. And I also said that I would get that information for you today, and I will give it to you. It is next Thursday, here in this boardroom at 4:45.
And the public
And
is,
it has been advertised. It was advertised in both papers on January the 11th.
I mean, Mr. Troy.
Now, I don't know how many times I have to explain things to you about whether or not it's an open
Sam,
meeting.
you've been told at least 4 times within the last 2 minutes that it's an open meeting to the public.
that's
and
not
yet-
what she told me
and yet-
yesterday,
excuse
Dr.
me.
Namey.
I resent that.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute, Sam.
You were ambiguous about it.
4 times in the last 3 minutes you were told it's an open.
I don't care what I was told in the last 3 minutes, Dr. Namey. I'm telling you what she told me yesterday.
And then you now are still asking the question, is you just, after hearing it 4 times, you just asked the question, is it open to the public?
Can the public speak
How
at it?
many times do you have to be told it's open to the public before it registers?
If it's open to the public.
Maybe if I had a PhD like you, Doctor, I could digest
Well,
it
then
better.
perhaps
I'm
know
sorry.
what?
what you need
That's
to do.
it. That's
Perhaps
it.
that's what you need to do.
That's-
Then you'll
That's what I'll
understand.
do.
That's it, that's it, that's it.
Relax.
Mr. Gaspar, please.
Okay, next we have Mr. Ken Kowalski.